insane and then you're feeling like a hermit. But what's going on there in your head when you're writing that?
That's my granny again.
Popping out of those curtains.
I wish she wouldn't do that.
Yeah, it's embarrassing when the neighbors talk about holes.
Yeah, it was just an image that popped into my head. When I wrote the line, I mean, everyone saw the grainy footage of him being pulled out of a hole in the ground. It was kind of memorable. So it's not that I'm a big fan of his, or, you know. So, yeah, it's true.
Were you feeling a little bit like a hermit before you wrote this? I mean, I've read this before. I don't know. Is that true?
No, but you know,
I've got to stop reading those things, those rags at the supermarket counters.
You go back into your shell, you know, a little bit. I think that's one of my natural inclinations. So, but sometimes you just got to throw caution to the wind and get out there.
Are you sort of this foundling now? He's just like, he's found himself. Something, I don't know. Seems as though the lyrics came pretty easily on this album. Or I have no idea if they did, but they're beautiful and everything flows.
Yeah, it was, well, like I say, it was almost like written when the pressure was off. And I didn't fuss over it. I just accepted. Your biggest barrier when you're trying to write and record and stuff is doubting things as they're happening. Well, like most things in life. So my approach became, well, just write it and do it as you feel it. Don't fuss about it. Just put it down. And if you decide you don't like it when you come back on Monday morning to listen to it, then fine, and write another one. But just get it done. So I got into a flow where there wasn't much negativity in my head. I was just kind of finding little snippets of words and then expanding them out into a song pretty rapidly. And these are pretty simple structures. I mean, it's not difficult to write a song. You know, you just write a bit of music and then you put some words on it.
Sure.
It is. I mean, whether the song's any good or not is a whole other story. So, you know, maybe you get lucky and you catch a few good ones, you know. But I got into a real flow. And I was enjoying these quiet moments of writing when there was no one around.
And you would write them just by yourself or with maybe one other member of your band while the other members were doing whatever with, you know, draw the lines? Is that how it works?
Sometimes, you know, the idea comes up and then you're all working on it, and then I just have to go, look, I need to take some time out and try and write some words for this so we can take it further. So, you know,
didn't Gossamer Thread, wasn't that one of those ones that just took, you were just, the song, I have to put it down for a minute and pick it back up again?
Well, the story behind that song was just that I didn't want to do the thing of when you record it and then you decide afterwards. We were trying to do something quite ambitious, so start and put the verses in and then these changes. Sort of dynamically, it started very quiet and then it sort of got to about here. And then it flips into something else and then it gets bigger. So it runs along for a while, then it flips again, it gets even bigger. And then comes down and goes into a completely different section. So it's like 7 minutes of music, and it was hard to get it as a take. And I didn't want to get back into post-production and sort of be chopping the whole thing up then. I wanted us to get the arrangement right and record it as it should be, rather than chop it afterwards. So I don't know why, but because of that, anyway, we laboured over this thing. I can't remember the lyrics. I can't really remember on this. I just had a rhyming scheme and lots of ideas for it, and it wasn't too much of an effort.
I don't know. I thought those lyrics really resonated. Not just. I mean, I'm not just focusing on old people, but that hanging by a thread. I think we've all felt like that before. Like,
well, I think everybody has. You know, you're just walking down the street and someone asks you for $1, and you look into their eyes, or maybe you choose not to. You know. What you're going to see there, you know, there are people like living right on the edge, and also people in respectable jobs who are like that far from completely flipping out. So I mean, everybody has to walk a tightrope at some point. It's, you know, it's not plain sailing getting from the cradle to the grave. So I'm just trying to cheer you up.
would you like to play for us off of your new album?
Something suitably bleak. This is called When I Was in Your Heart. Somebody should have told you I never knew. It's just another letter returning to when I was in your heart. When I was in your heart. Now every word is falling on stony ground. It feels as if the music could lay me down. When I was in your heart. When I was in your heart. Because we wanted to. Because we wanted to. Because we wanted to pretend. We wanted to pretend. Now someone else is catching those gravy trains, and one poor bastard's loss is another.